This is to talk about our bill, the Online Safety Recommender Algorithm Bills 2026, that will be debated and voted in the Dáil on Wednesday. It's not clear at this stage whether the government is going to support this bill, oppose the bill, try to delay the bill. And our main message today is that a few weeks ago, Simon Harris, when speaking about the regulation of big tech companies, said some things are more important than money, speaking about the need to stand up to the big tech corporations involved in the mass production of child sexual abuse imagery of women. And it's now time for the government to put their money where their mouth is. They like to talk about the need to regulate big tech. They like to talk about the need to protect children from the harmful impacts of social media. This is a bill to do it. I mean, what is contained in this bill is literally the recommendation of all of the experts who worked in this area. It's the recommendation of the all-party AI committee without dissent to call for precisely what is contained in this bill. It's a recommendation of the Irish Council for Civil Liberties, of Hope and Courage Collective, of really anybody who has studied this area precisely comes up with this recommendation. To explain what the bill would do, and then to outline the reasoning for it, what the bill would do is it would turn off for under 18s the recommender algorithm system on social media companies. That is the system which recommends content to you online. You go on to your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, and information is, and certain posts are fed to you, that is fed to you by the recommender algorithm system. The effect of the bill would be to turn that off for under 18s permanently, to mean that young people themselves would curate their social media feed. They wouldn't have stuff fed to them, and turn it off by default for over 18s. The reason for this is because the recommender algorithms are a driving factor in a mental health crisis for young people, in a spread of misogyny and hate amongst young people and generally in society. A huge factor is these social media algorithms, which are really toxifying our culture, our political environment, our space for democratic debate. And there's a whole range of studies that indicate, like really horrifically, if you're a young man and you go, or let's say you go into a shop, you buy a mobile phone, blank mobile phone, and you set up a social media account claiming that you are a 15-year-old man, a young man, you're a child in law, within half an hour, you're being fed toxic, misogynistic content, the likes of Andrew Tate or others, without you having selected anything, without you having positively interacted with this content. You'll also be fed far-right, hate material, and so on. If you're a young woman and you do the same, or again, you buy a blank phone, you say that you're a young woman, the same thing will happen, except this time around you will be fed content that promotes eating disorder and promotes self-harm. So content on Instagram, for example, that promotes eating disorder is a over $200 million year business for Meta, which owns Instagram. They make huge amounts of money from this sort of content. If you then, as a young woman, interact with anything about dieting, your feed is effectively going to be just full of this pro-eating disorder content. And all of the evidence shows this is having a very, very damaging effect in terms of young people's health, mental health, and so on. And this is about protecting people. To be clear, because I saw some responses when we first launched this bill from, I think it was Ken O'Flynn, suggesting that there was censorship involved here. There is no censorship whatsoever. None. Even material that we find very offensive and distasteful would still be able to be created on social media. People could still find it on social media. But the point is that it's not force-fed to you by the social media companies. Social media is force-feeding toxic content to young people and to everybody. because it is maximising the amount of time people's eyeballs are staying on the screen, which maximises the amount of advertising that they're able to sell. And we need to cut across this motive of profit driving the algorithm,